MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And she decided green today for some reason. I hadn't had a chance to talk to her.
Yeah, I needed a little color in my life today.
Woo, a little color. And I went opposite of that. I had a green shirt. You should have told me.
Well,
Would have been like the twinsies.
is this black or blue? It looks blue.
It's
on
actually
there.
gray.
Oh, it's gray.
Gray
Charcoal.
black.
It looks blue on the air, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks a little different there. Nothing like light changing the color of what you're wearing. Faith Hill found that out at a concert many moons ago.
Oh, really?
Whoops. You could actually see through the entire dress.
No.
Oh, that would have been really, really embarrassing.
White dress, spotlights, and it was,
Yeah, that was a bad choice.
nobody left the show to go get a Coke, though.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was-
sure. Yeah, I'm
I
sure the
was like,
guys didn't think it was a bad choice.
Golly, I was all about that show.
Oh, my goodness.
Then, how are you today?
I'm good. I actually slept all night last night for the first time, and I can't tell you when, so I
Feel
feel like
pretty
I'm
good.
What time do y'all go to
energized.
bed?
Ooh, I see. I go
late going to
9:30.
bed.
I cannot go past that. I'm no good to anyone.
I used to be a real night owl. I mean, I wouldn't go to bed at like 1 in the morning. And sometimes I'd still stay up late, but around 11, my eyes are getting really, really heavy. So around about that time.
So what do you do, Susan? What time do you go to bed?
Usually between 12 and 2.
a.m., yeah. See, I used to be like that. I could stay up all night.
I've
and-
always been a night owl.
Yeah.
I'm a bookworm, and I used to stay up reading, and I think it just stuck.
I can't.
would-
I don't
So-
need a lot of sleep either.
Now I get up at 4. So
Well, that's
time
what
do
I
you
was going to
get up?
say. You probably get up at 4, but I
And,
usually get up at 7 or 8.
I just my body just cuts off at some point. I ain't
Yeah.
no good, nobody. And Susie's going to be telling some stuff from MCC coming up in just a minute.
Yeah.
Lots of things happening in the Meridian area as you're waking up. Don't forget, my pictures, for whatever reason, are acting funny this morning. Let me refresh this. I was going to show you a picture of the 49th Avenue Bridge just so that you know where it is. And it may work this time. Let me scroll down here. Almost there. Y'all don't give up on me. Almost there. Here we go. This is going to be doing work to this area today. So if you cross this bridge going back and forth, you can go to the co-op on this side, or you can go around by the Honda shop and come into Budweiser. However you want to do it. But they're going to be working on that today and probably shut down for a few hours there. Punch. Actually, John's watching everything in the background there. Nobody caught that in the picture.
I'm just
I
looking
just
at
saw
that.
it and I
I'm
was
like, is he
who is the
posing?
guy? Do we have police officers that look like that?
I always try to hide something in a
Is
picture.
that a
when I
baseball
post.
player?
That is. Do you remember Chips, John and Punch?
Yes.
That's John over there hiding behind the box
my
watching
goodness.
everybody.
He looks like he's posing.
Well, maybe we need to do that every morning. Just slip a little something in. If you see the hidden, where's Waldo thing?
Yeah. But it's fun to do things like that. I do that all the time. Like the other night in the robbery, we had McGruff hidden behind a building. I don't think anybody caught that.
Yeah.
Slid right past everybody. So, who got arrested yesterday? Let's go to, let's just go ahead and pull this picture up. Here he is. I'm telling you, he really makes great pictures.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what we've got is an arrest. Now, this gentleman was arrested or got into some trouble earlier in the year with a cousin. They were fighting amongst each other over scrap metal, and, well, he might have shot him with a gun.
In the leg or something.
Yeah, that's what happened down there, right off B Street. This incident happened back in December on I-20. A little road rage shot at somebody else. He's been arrested for that. No bond either. He'll get to sit there at the jailhouse and get some free food there for a few weeks there. We'll find out how long he'll be there. I'll call a judge and find out what's going on with all that, get all the behind-the-scenes details of what happens. I tell you what, I'll say we got a couple that's missing. We hope this turns out better here. Let me show. This is Jones County, which is just south of the Meridian area. Let me show you some pictures here. Let's look at this. Here's the gentleman, and then here's the lady. Both are the Jones County Sheriff's Department has put this out, and as we look at this, they are missing.
They've been.
They have been located now.
Oh, it's been an update since.
Yeah, since I posted that. They've been found, so that's wonderful.
Found safe, so that's a very good thing.
They were driving a truck, went to get some medication, and then disappeared. So that's a good one there. It's amazing how that updates, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got an update. And that
Yeah.
they're safe and sound. So.
Now, as we found out yesterday, and we hate to, you got to tell the truth of what happened, and so sad with this. This young lady who was 76 years old, her body was found yesterday in the creek in Clark County.
Very sad.
As Todd Kemp gave the interview of that, he said they had to cut their way in, and she had apparently, what is not known, did she fall off the bridge? Did she walk into the creek? They don't know. An autopsy has been ordered. Her body was found 500 feet down. She was washed from where she originally went in. Our condolences to the family and everybody that worked to find her. That has to be traumatizing to find somebody also like that.
Yes, I can't.
Yeah,
it's an awful thing.
It's hard for me to.
Yeah, but I guess it's an ongoing investigation.
It is,
though, right?
Now, at this point, this is being looked at as a criminal case because they don't know what happened. Could she have been pushed? Yes, we don't know that. But after an autopsy, maybe that will tell what we don't know.
But condolences to her family for sure. Prayers for y'all because and friends and people who knew her. It's an awful thing.
It is. Another sad story that we have to tell this morning is in Mississippi, and I was trying to find the story here. A utility worker was electrocuted yesterday. North Mississippi, Marshall County, as you get up near Tunica in those areas, he grabbed a live wire while working and was killed instantly. We pass along condolences to his family.
Yes. That is a dangerous job. You know, when the pole behind our house got hit by lightning not long ago, I sat there for the longest time and watched what they did. There are so many little things here and there that they have to mess with, and up on that bucket thing and trying to do all that. And some of them are like hanging from the side of the pole. I mean, it's just,
and then think
very
about
dangerous.
When you lose weather during these storms, these guys are out in that working.
They're out in the freezing cold sometimes. Yeah.
At least a little bit can happen. So our condolences to their family. Alabama might be fed up with what's going on with them taking down all our monuments to our soldiers through the years. We've got a senator that is proposing that a higher penalty be put on any city that takes down a war memorial that has been deemed a war, because you can't take those down. I think before it was like a $5,000 fine. They're wanting to make it a steep one now to where it'll stop this craziness. As we watch Teddy Roosevelt being drug away from the National Museum in New York. It goes on and on.
People get all in this uproar about all this kind of stuff, and take down the statues. I don't understand what they're trying to prove other than, look what we can do. Because I'm just tired of it. It doesn't erase history. That's
where I was going.
It is history.
So we'll see. We'll watch Alabama closely, see if that sticks, see if any of that works out there and starts deterring some of this. Because they start with that next thing it's going to be illegal to have a portrait of George Washington. And from there, they'll think that Abe Lincoln is just not the guy to have hanging on your wall. History gets out of hand when you start trying to erase it.
Well, when you pacify one person, you got to pacify everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just so tired of
everybody
seeing it.
is.
Yeah, it's just like everybody gets their feelings hurt over every little thing. So let's do everything we can to appease that one or two or three or how many ever people. I just think it's ridiculous.
So we're going to watch this and we'll report to you what goes on with it. Did you hear me this morning of a story from Birmingham?
No, I didn't, because I was in a rush getting ready this morning.
All right. A few weeks ago here in Meridian, somebody thought it would be a great idea to rob the pizza delivery guy. Well, he might have a little bit, and I'm hungry too. So let's take his cash and rob those and take the pizza.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, right here in Meridian. Well, in Birmingham, it was 3 old guys sitting on the front porch. One was 61, the other guy was 60, and they had the young guy hanging with them was 50 that thought, hey, we need some cash. And look, there's the dude that is delivering the medication from the pharmacy to the neighbor next door. Let's get him.
Oh, yeah.
Robbed him at gunpoint. Then they thought, ooh, we got to get away. So they jumped in a car and then wrecked.
I thought you were going to say, then they took his drugs.
I'm sure if they could have, they would have. But
there's some people that'll take anything.
I would think, and I don't know this because I'm not a law enforcement guy or a judge, but I would think if you rob somebody that's delivering medication, that one might be even worse than taking the pizza guy's pizza.
Yeah, I would think
because that's like a drug thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, what if I don't know if you could even deliver something that was, you had to sign to get or something.
But, even around here, there's a lot of pharmacies that say that we'll deliver to your house if you can't make it to us, and that's all it was. And they thought, let's get him.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
There are some people in this world that would have stole the drugs, though,
Yeah.
and probably took them, not even knowing what they were.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yesterday.
pop a nitroglycerin tablet on you when you don't need it and see what you get.
Yesterday around lunchtime, if you were driving around minding your business and you have to go and you happen to pass Logan's parking lot, yes, you did see that. It was a scrap in the parking lot of Logan's yesterday. And they got a little bruised up there. Might have got a cut and got a bloody nose. No arrests were made, but, well, they did have a fight over it. Just no word yet as to what it was over.
Yeah.
You know, like you ate my last piece of chicken and I didn't want you to do it. We don't know the details of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that gets for them rolls over in there.
Were they fighting over the peanuts?
Do
they still have the peanuts?
No, they got rid of them. I ate their Sunday.
I'm kind of glad.
I'm not. I like
because
them.
it drove me insane. Because I'm the type person that if I'm walking through my house and there's stuff on the floor, I'm sweeping it every 5 minutes. So going in there was like...
No, I chunked peanuts everywhere. When I sat down, they were going left and right.
Look, I would have mine in a little pile on the table and I'd...
But I need to seriously have a talk with that little manager of Logan's because there's a problem. There was 6 of us. We sat down. My mother-in-law's across from me and my bunch, and there's 4 rolls with butter. Who gets it? Yeah. And then finally another load of them come. And they just go so quick. As soon as they hit in the middle of it, it's like a scrap. Remember Jerry Clower talking about the last piece of chicken with the fork? That's the way it was.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all watch that. There ain't nothing like a good hot roll with butter. I don't know if everybody's tried it.
Real butter.
That way everybody gets, you could have had 8.
No, because
There
you're
was only
starving
4.
by the time you get there, and it's like, give me all I can get.
Yeah.
And the peanuts pacified me until I got more.
What is the restaurant that used to chunk rolls? It wasn't Logan's.
It's down
There's
on the
another
coast.
one. I can't remember the name of it, but they would throw the rolls.
Landry's down on the coast where they'd throw them from one end of the restaurant to the other.
Yeah.
Home of
And
the
I hope they didn't
rolls.
give them to somebody after they threw them.
You've been there before, hadn't you, Susie?
I've not been there. I've been by there a ton of times in there. It's just home of the throwed rolls.
Yeah. It's
I'm like,
good.
don't give me a thrown roll. Like, give me a fresh one.
Somebody's
I don't
fingers
want
touch
one that
that
everybody's
roll.
tossed around the room.
Lambert. Somebody's got it up there. It's Lambert's.
Yeah, Lambert's.
Lambert's. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. But it is good food there. But y'all remember Quincy's? They had some bad boy rolls
Oh, they were
there
good.
too.
Yeah.
Days gone by, and it's bad. The older you get, your memory revolves around where good food was. It's not about hot women and the great date that you had. It was, man, I had some butter beans that was good over there. That's when you're an experienced person.
Yeah. It is.
Practice it. Hey, and we'll get into some stories in a minute and find out why Susie's sitting over there so patiently winking at me. That's all coming up.
Interrupting you.
Did you hear this about the Super Bowl? If you had money to bet, and he did it last year and lost, this year the Mattress Mac, $4.5 million, and he's putting his money on the Bengals.
He did that last year, though, right?
Yeah, and he
Is that what you're
lost.
saying? Yeah, and he lost. I don't know if I'd have done that again.
$4.5 million. You've got some mattresses moving if you can bet that kind of money.
Yeah, or some cash stashed back somewhere. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. But.
So good luck to him. That's a big story that is coming about nationwide. That's coming up Sunday, isn't it? The Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe you're going to watch, maybe you're not, but that is in the works.
But guys, let me just tell you,
What?
it's the day before Valentine's Day, so don't get so busy watching the game that you have not ordered something for your
Absolutely.
significant other.
And we got the girls that can take care of it for you there at Honeysuckle's Floral Boutique. Did I say that right? Floral?
Floral Boutique.
Big word for me on a Wednesday morning there, but the girls can help you out. If you need to send something to your sweetheart, all you got to do is drop in on 26 North Hill Street there, and they will deliver it too.
Yes.
And this is an example of what is delivered. Hearts and flowers and love.
That's right. They got roses and all different kind of flowers. They make these beautiful arrangements that are different from what you would see somewhere else.
Right.
So they also have a gift shop.
Yeah, look at
that
this.
You can get all kind of little things to add with that.
Gifts and plants and anything that you might be looking for. If you're planning a wedding, if you finally decided that you're going to marry her, you can't get out of it. She's got you cornered. Let her call them and take care of all those flowers that have to be there also. You know what I'm talking about. And always, if you lose someone of the family member or if you lose a close friend, they can help you out with sympathy. You can send some flowers to any of the local funeral homes. They deliver as well. They take care of you. As you mentioned, they've got knickknacks for you all throughout the store. The big day is going to be this weekend, though, as we get ready for Monday. They're going to be working during the Super Bowl to make sure that they get all the orders ready. Order yours early. They do welcome walk-ins, but they also got a lot more going on. See them. Honeysuckles.
I spent weeks in the hospital due to a careless driver. I could no longer afford to do it alone. I knew I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace, and also our special guest is here to talk about something. But I wanted to bring something up before we got too deep, because we need to save somebody. And for merely $20, let me introduce you to a young lady that I know, Raven, who needs a home, and bless her heart, she needs it quick. This is Raven, and a lot of you may not know it, that the city and the county no longer have their pups together. Mm-hmm. And Raven is just about reached the end of her watch. If she isn't adopted, she will be put down. And I don't know any other way to word this and make it sound nice and sweet. But she is a good dog. She needs a home. They think she's about 6 months old. She's got a little lab in her. And for $20, you can take her home. She's been taken care of. But if she isn't taken, something's going to happen to her, and it won't be good. And it's just, I don't mean to bring sadness. They're open today through about 4:30. They're going to shut down to lunch, and they're located at 501 Cooper Avenue. Are you the one that can save her?
Look, this would be a good little Valentine.
It would be.
Put a little red
bow around that neck.
Yes.
So inbox me if you don't know where that is, if you'd like to know more about this. To save this pup's life, she would make a great friend to somebody. And I'll be posting her picture here in just a little bit. So you can learn more about that and maybe take her home before her time is met. And I don't, is there any other way to word what I just said? I tried to say it the best way I knew how.
I hate that it has to resort to something like that.
I know.
But I guess they get overcrowded. I mean, they get more in there than.
Yeah.
But still,
I could not do that for a living. Let me just tell you, that is not my forte. I couldn't handle it. I could not do that. Well, Miss Susie Johnson's in with us as she comes to us from MCC. Y'all got a lot going on out there. And
we do.
Who have you got coming that you wanted to tell us about?
Well, we have in our Arts and Letters series another part that we call more of the letters side, and it is Harrison Scott Key.
Now, what's Harrison done? I got a picture of him over here.
Harrison Scott Key. I had heard about him for many years, and because he's a Mississippi boy.
Right.
And making a name for himself in the literary world. He's been published far and wide. But a couple of years ago, my good friend Diane Freeman Reynolds, and I went to the Mississippi Book Festival where he was featured, and knew he was from Mississippi, but just had the best time at his talk because he's also a humorist, and so notably he has written in the last couple of years a memoir called, I think it's The World's Largest Man, but it's about his father, and it's about living in the South. But he does it with a lot of grace, but a lot of wit. And so we have gotten him here. He lives in South Carolina now, and I think he's the head of the writing department at SCAD, but he's going to be here this Sunday, and I know it's the Super Bowl, but this is at 2:00.
Right.
And it's going to be about an hour. And I was on here before, a couple months ago, talking about the first of this series where we did the writers behind the song, stories behind the songs with some people near and dear to my heart. And people were leaving and saying, please do something like this again. And this is what this is. You don't have to be a reader. You don't even have to know who he is. But you will enjoy this. This will be great. It's the same kind of thing where he sits and he talks, and then we take Q&A from the audience. He'll have some books there to autograph afterwards. And so go to Sunday brunch and then come on out to MCC's McCain Center. It's at 2. And we want to keep doing this. It's a lot of fun. And again, even if you're not a reader, you'll enjoy it.
Thank goodness his mama didn't name him Francis or something like that.
I know.
And it does make you wonder.
But I love to say his name, Harrison Scott Key. It
is pretty cool, isn't it? It does make you wonder, though, if there's some type of maybe kin somewhere along the way.
Yeah, there might be,
traces,
especially he's from Mississippi.
And if someone is going, what are you talking about? Please pick up a history book today and figure that one out, because that is important in American history if you don't know who that person is.
That's right,
there.
yeah.
Now, again, what time is this going to happen?
It's going to be at 2:00. at McCain.
Okay, for those that are going, I don't know about this, what time does the ball game start?
What? The Super Bowl parties are starting around 5.
Okay.
There's a Super Bowl party at MCC as well, but...
so you have time to do both.
You really do have time. You even have time to go pick up your chips before you come out. Mm-hmm. But it's something that, it's one of those things that you're not really sure what we're going to do, but I promise you will enjoy it. You will be glad you came. And again, it's not a long program, but it's somebody that you'll be sorry you did not, when you hear about it, you'll be sorry you didn't show up. And this is something from Meridian. It's a pretty big deal. He's a pretty big deal in the literary world. Mm-hmm. And he's funny.
That's what's important. Good.
I love to laugh. So, that's the thing when we had this is the third one we've done like this. We brought some Mississippi authors in before COVID hit. And I just looked around. It made me so happy because I looked around the audience and I knew people were there just because they loved me and they weren't big readers. But you don't really have to. What we're doing here is more like a scenes behind the scene.
Right.
It's like stories behind the scene, behind the books, behind the life. And it's just interesting.
Right, we're coming out. And Bill said that the kickoff is at 5:30, so you do have time.
You do have time.
Make things there to show up. Come check this out. It begins at 2 o'clock at MCC. Come on.
Yes, it's my home now, and want to see you all out there.
All right, don't rush off. We got some more coming up with that. Hey, the Meridian Police Department is looking for someone else. Let's go ahead and throw that picture up there where you can see it. Shoplifting on February the 5th at around 1:40 a.m. If you happen to know who these people are, give the Meridian Police Department a call. They want to just have a little chat with them. They'll no telling what they'll talk about, but hey, up to them. Yeah. Coming up there, a few news stories that we want to start talking about this morning that is happening around America. Did y'all watch American Idol enough to know people that were contestants? Anybody do that?
I watched it a good bit, but it was just here and there. I used to watch it all the time.
A longer time ago.
Uh-huh.
Anybody recognize this guy here?
The name sounds familiar, but he does not look like...
Right, let me pull back up and get his name. His name is Caleb Kennedy is who he is. Mm-hmm. He's been arrested in Spartanburg, South Carolina. He was drinking and driving. He was a contestant on there, and he ran through a home and has killed somebody, much like the accident that we saw in Philadelphia.
Yes.
But this time, someone died from it. Mm-hmm. That's bad there. So he's a mistake like that is a lifelong mistake.
Oh, yeah. And he's young, so, he's ruined,
He has.
He ruined his life now.
It has. I am so unused to saying this word that I'm not sure that I know how to say it correctly. All right, let me try.
Okay.
Second gentleman. That just sounds weird.
Yeah,
Anybody else agree?
It is kind of weird sounding.
Like you hear, grab the second lady or the first lady, you know what that is. And who I'm talking about is...
just say her husband.
Doug, her main man. And Kamala's husband is who we're talking about. Mm-hmm. He was at an elementary school yesterday, and somebody yelled bomb threat at the school, called it in. He had to be rushed out of the school along with all the other children.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't know why he was at the school, maybe reading a book. Do first men do that, or second men do that?
I guess, maybe that's their little job.
I've seen Jill go out and do it before. I don't know about him, but...
It sounds like he's done more than she has. So.
That may be.
It's awful to say, but, I don't think she does very much, that she's asked to do. I don't know.
Not a lot. Hey,
from what they say.
Yesterday morning, we started talking to you about what the U.S. government is blowing your money at. Mm-hmm. Finally, the senator from Tennessee was the first one I've seen speak out against this, Blackburn. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift didn't like her and tried not to get her elected. Oh, she won anyway, Taylor. Too bad for you.
I like her, though.
I do, too.
I think she's firm in what she says, and she stands up for what she believes.
What's right and wrong. And what she spoke out on, what I'm talking about, is yesterday as we learned that the United States government is going to spend $30 million of your taxpayer money to buy crack pipes so crackheads can smoke their pipes peacefully. This morning, it gets worse than that. You think, well, it can't get any worse. Here we go, people. The Justice Department is considering allowing, and again, remember, drugs, crack, and anything like that, needles that you shoot up is against the law. Last I checked.
Yeah.
But the Justice Department is now considering building safe havens for drug addicts where they can go legally shoot up their illegal drugs legally. Boy, does that make sense. America.
We're good at this.
Wake up.
Okay. Yeah.
Did all of that sink in?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yeah, look, I've heard people say, "Oh, they're sitting on the street shooting up drugs in front of everyone." Well, get them off the street.
That's right.
Don't just make a place for them to go. I mean, it's crazy.
Let me make this story even worse. They've already opened 2 centers. One's in New York City, the other's in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. You're buying crack pipes and then building buildings to where people can use illegal drugs legally to shoot up so they'll feel good and get high and go rob you. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at our next story from San Francisco. It's gotten so bad with the drug heads living on the street. And this is where people that we need to have a cleansing of who's running what and have a re-election here. Yeah. San Francisco, they're trying to do this. What do you call it back during the war days when they'd fly over enemy territory and they'd drop out flyers? Propaganda. That's the word I'm looking for. The news media in San Francisco has got propaganda out saying that people are asking them that they want to take those dope heads and drug heads off the street and let them live in their home. So they started a campaign of adopt a drug head and invite them to live in your home.
I've got a really good idea. All the politicians and everybody that vote for that kind of stuff, let's grab you up 10 or 20 of them and bring them home with
them.
You. Right.
Yeah.
Take them home with you.
I just... And, there's one of our...
we go.
Kay Watson said, let's build homeless shelters for our vets. I agree with you, Kay.
I'm not putting down homeless people because I know people are homeless, and I know that you don't know the story that got them where they are, and sometimes people choose that life, and sometimes they don't.
Right.
They're just in that situation. I'm not putting homeless people down. But that is a ridiculous
It'll
thing.
get you killed is what that's going to do.
Right.
That's going to get Americans harmed.
You don't know people's story. You don't know what kind of mental state that they're in when they're out,
That's why your mama told you not to pick up hitchhikers on the side of the road. Yeah. Same principle. Well, this time you're just saying, come on in the house.
You just can't be too careful. I mean, you can't trust. And I know that's awful to say because, it's awful. It's an awful feeling that you can't trust people. But it's the day and time that we're living in right now.
Lois Johnson said they've already started that in Seattle, Washington. They've done it several years ago. See, I wasn't aware of that. See, I waited too long to get back on the air and to tell people about these things to warn folks.
Look, and I'm all about helping people out, giving them care packages if they're on the streets and stuff like that, or helping them out. But this is just,
Y'all listen to Kay. I went to high school with her. Yeah. Sweet. She'll tell you what's really true and what's going on there. That's how we start out our day. I sit down and, I'm so involved in what happens in our community, and I care about America. And that's why I spend so many hours digging this stuff up so that you'll know, because the mainstream media is not really going to tell you these things.
It is so much going on. Last night I was watching the news and I found out that a lot of these parents who are like in these other states that have gone to school board meetings and they've really thrown a fit about things that they don't like, they are now surveilling, doing surveillance on these parents.
They are
behind the scenes,
but
and they don't know it.
We got a news story coming up about just that is pretty good. This one is a good story. But wait a minute, let's go ahead and tell you some more that'll make you go, let me set my coffee cup down. Did I really believe this? Okay, let's go to the southern border of the United States. We're looking here. People are climbing the fence that are not American citizens, breaking the law, getting into our country, taking your tax dollars, your medication, and killing our people. Oh, yeah. Why not while we arrest them? Trump had that great idea, chunk them back where they come from. You got to go back. Get over there. You can't cross this line. But Biden goes, wait a minute. Let's build some more houses and do some house arrest in the city of Baltimore and Houston. As soon as we arrest them, let's ship them deeper into the United States where they can escape and be amongst you. I kid you not, that is happening also. I'm not meaning to complain. I'm just trying to protect.
Yeah.
I really am.
It's just a lot. I told my husband the other night, I said, this whole day and time, I guess, the people who are in the higher up positions are so sneaky.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of them, not all, are dishonest, and just like flying people into cities and states and stuff in the middle of the night without the governor even knowing about it.
That's true.
Who does that? That it's just not totally, not trustworthy.
And if this is your first time ever watching us, welcome. And if you will notice, Candace likes to randomly throw in there, I got a husband.
I do have a husband.
She just likes to repeat it to go, nanny boo boo.
That I'm very thankful for, I might add. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, here's another story for you. Hunter Biden has been tied to trying to broker a $120 million deal between the Chinese energy firm and a company that had sanctions against it. Oh yeah, that's treason stuff. Oh, and they found all this on a laptop that somebody got arrested for turning it over, doing the honest thing. And then they said, oh, yeah, that doesn't exist. There's nothing on there.
Mm-hmm. Somebody needs to write a book. When everybody's writing all these books, somebody needs to write one that says that the title is "You Can't Make This Stuff Up." I mean, and then put all this mess in it. It's just crazy. I just cannot believe some of the stuff that is going on, and it's just considered okay.
If it's right, it's wrong. I watched. Let me tell you what I watched last night. This will take everybody. I was over helping my mom last night, and while she was getting dressed and we were trying to get her taken care of, Andy Griffith came on. And it was the story that had Jed Clampett on it. It was Buddy Epson who was the guest star on that. And he was a homeless guy that came through town. Real charismatic. When he needed something to eat, he'd grab it. He'd get an apple pie, and he became friends with Opie. And Opie comes back in the sheriff's office and says, "Where you been?" He goes, "Well, I just had such and such supper." And he goes, "Well, what'd y'all have?" And he said, "We had chicken and we had blueberry pie." And Barney had just told Andy that a robbery had just been reported of a chicken and somebody's pie stolen. And so Andy goes and talks to him, and he says, "You can't do this." And he said, "You're teaching my boy bad values, and I'm not going to have it." So he goes, "You're telling me I got to leave town?" And you know how Buddy Epson talked. And so he goes, "Yeah, you just need to leave." He goes, "Man, I sure grew fond of Opie." And he goes, "It's wrong. You got to go." So what Buddy Epson, to finish out the show, to show Opie what he was doing was wrong, he goes in a garbage can and takes a purse and runs in front of Barney like he'd stolen a purse. And he's arrested in front of Opie to show that he was doing wrong. And Andy opens the door after Opie leaves and let him out because he took it out of a garbage can. But he showed Opie that what he was doing was wrong. And we have to have adults. What happened to TV shows
like that?
That have morals?
They do not hardly exist anymore. I mean, seriously. Back then, they taught morals, and everything had a little story to it. You know, a good ending. And now it's just like the bad, the better. You know.
Honestly,
bad,
I'm not
better.
complaining. I care about our country. I care about our community. And that's why I always say, if you see something, snap a picture of it, shoot it to us. If you don't want to talk to the law, I'll be glad to send it to them on your behalf. We got to stop things. When you see something is wrong, take a stand in life.
Yeah.
Let's talk about somebody that I know that is honest, that is a good friend of mine, and that's going to be Chet's Paint and Body. You ever been to a place where they do shabby work and, well, they might fudge on the truth? Not going to happen at Chet's Paint and Body. Right there, they're going to take care of you. Whatever they tell you and shake hands on, they stand behind their work. Color matching, they make your car look good. And if your car's been molested by a deer, a doe, or a big buck, they do that. They come up and just bump into it.
Like scared of your wording today, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple cars that's been molested by deer. See them at Chet's Paint and Body. They'll help you out. 737-2961 is the number to talk to them. They're going to get your car right back to the way it used to look. Whether you've had just a little fender bender, a bumper, or a scratch, whether it's been backed into, they do all that with the aluminum beds as well, to where that's kind of hard for somebody else to do. Not at Chet's. They'll put it back to the way it was. See them. Honesty. They're going to shake hands, and it'll be just exactly what you expected. They'll help you with all that insurance work, get you a rental car all lined up, and when they tell you your car's ready, it'll be there. You won't be waiting a month and a half going, "Where's my car, Chet?" Because he's going to have it for you.
That's right. They get it done in a timely manner.
They do. See Chet's Paint and Body for honest work right here in the Meridian area. Talk to them. They'll help you out. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And don't forget, right down the street, the back porch is opened up now.
That's right. If you haven't been, you need to go. All kind of different things for women, men. They've got grills and grill accessories, even frozen casseroles that you can take home, cook for supper.
Yeah, see them. Now, again, it's right past the Rock House. It's the big red bar, the back porch. It's got that huge chair out front.
That's right. And ladies, they have a she shed area that has Louis Vuitton purses.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that. I was in the store talking with them, and I'll be honest with you, I tried to say the word, and I just, I can't.
She shed.
But you try to say that fast. Me and Tyson Pompey, I was getting him 2 years ago to do one of those tongue twisters, and he's better at it than I am, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Just say the ladies area.
Hey, do y'all remember the guy that a few years ago helped Joe Biden, an interpreter, when they were trying to get out of a country? This guy saved Joe Biden's life, and he left him in Afghan. Yeah, he finally made it to the U.S. yesterday. So his journey is complete. Not by help by Joe. Looks like if somebody saved your life and you're president, you would go that little extra mile to send a plane over, maybe give them a little ride.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
You would think.
Mitch McConnell, I would say, has issues coming. Why do I say that? He publicly said yesterday that he thinks January 6th was a violent insurrection. He's going against the rest of the Republican Party. Mitch's days are numbered.
Yeah. It blows my mind that people think that, I mean, it was not a good day.
No.
It definitely was not. But I think that a lot of these people who stood up, like Maxine Waters, encouraging people to go do this and that, nothing's ever been done to these people.
Nope. It's a bunch of bad things in this world. Another thing that has happened, and I told y'all to watch this because the media wants to paint this picture that, well, Don has got problems. Him and Ron DeSantis down in Florida aren't getting along. Do you remember that for about 2 weeks there?
Yeah.
They kept making every headline like they were in some big fight. Ron yesterday goes, me and Trump, me and Don, we're good friends. We have no problems between us. That was a way to divide to where the polls wouldn't show good.
Right, because, there's so many people, I think, are talking about they would like to see those two
team up.
Maybe on a ticket together.
Now, this is what you talked about of where you have all these school boards across the United States where they tell you your kids got to do this and that. Then we even saw in Virginia, if y'all remember, where they let the boys go to the girls' bathroom and a girl got raped. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Well, 3 moms are sick of it. And they're so sick of it that they're running for office now. They sat back, watched all this. We'll see if this starts being a nationwide trend of this. But good luck to them as they do this. It's 3 different states, and they're just moms like you that sit back and watch these school boards and other things think that they can make a difference in America. Well, that's what it takes.
Well, that is just, having men go in women's bathrooms or boys go in girls. That's just something waiting to happen. I mean, that's just, it's horrible. I told you about the incident at one of the stores here in town where, it was a man in the women's restroom.
Yeah.
So
I've never been caught in a women's restroom, ever. I just want to point that out.
Well, people, I'm just going to say this, and I mean, my son's 7, but I still will take him in there with me before I send him in there by himself. I'm just not doing it.
She also has a 23-year-old she still does that with also. Don't let her fool you.
I do not. Look, and those are girls, so they can go in there with me if they want to.
Let's see. Yeah. As we talk about y'all all, and Susie, you've heard about this stuff going on in Canada, haven't you, with the truck drivers?
Yes.
Where they've got that going on.
Yes.
Yesterday. Now, what happens in Canada doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen here, but a lot of times it's a heads up. You've got a 78-year-old guy. You've got the truck drivers over here with their little convoy that they've got set up with the protest. He goes by, blows his horn in support of them, waves at them. He's promptly arrested for disturbing the peace by the police for showing support for those guys. What's right is wrong, and what's wrong is right.
Yeah. Well, he should have been smoking a crack pipe when he went through there.
They'd have let him go, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they probably would have offered him another one just for the road and send you home. No. I don't know.
The truckers are saying that they are being put in the media as something they're not. As a matter of fact, I read a story from a reporter that went up and spent a week with them, camped out with them, and said after spending a week, they're not bad guys. No one's been hurt. There's been no fights. Nothing has happened. And usually that happens with protests.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they go burn the town every night. And they go, well, let them just get off that steam.
Yeah.
We didn't need that building anyway.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then the taxpayer has to foot the bill for millions of dollars to rebuild. And so many people lose their jobs. How many auto zones have to burn and put 50 people out of business before America wakes up and go, no, we're not rebuilding there, and we're not going to pay you to burn your own buildings? I struggle with trying to understand things that happen across America.
It definitely doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. Let's see. What else is shaking loose here? You remember the mom and dad, the Michigan, where they told them they cannot blow kisses at each other anymore? Have you ever heard of a judge telling a husband and wife they can't blow kisses at each other?
Well, I think that's a little disturbing anyway, that they would be blowing kisses,
It is.
across the courtroom. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and what we're talking about is the school shooter, the boy that killed those poor innocent children. The mom and dad, if you'll remember, tried to escape into Canada. They were arrested. They were right at the border. Well, they're in trial now, and every so often, right across the courtroom, the judge has had enough.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
you ain't doing it no more. I don't know how you stop them there.
I think they're crazy, like insane. I mean,
But here's what went through the mother's mind as we get into this court thing that happened is, okay, she finds out her son has just killed somebody. You know what she does?
leave him.
No, she texts the guy that she works for and says, please don't fire me for this. That was her first thought. Instead of someone's been hurt, she texts who she works for and says, please don't fire me.
Oh, I think it's odd that their son gets arrested and they take off and leave him.
Yeah, they planned to. They're going to be gone.
I mean, they left him there to just fend for himself about it, and they take off.
Ooh, have
But
mercy.
they had bought a gun, right? And
Yes.
I mean, I'm probably saying
Something
I don't
about
know
it.
everything, but from what I understood, there was a gun bought. They showed him how to use it,
Yeah. That naughty,
and then
naughty,
that
naughty.
happened. So I don't know. It's crazy.
That's a few things that have happened across America this morning there. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got
I
more
don't-
coming
crazy.
up. So
I think that's kind of odd to be blowing kisses across the courtroom.
yeah, don't be doing that. You can be in love, but you can't be doing all of that.
Crazy.
We've got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace. Don't rush off. We've got something for you coming up.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
There you go. I wonder what they'll do for Valentine's Day in jail.
I don't
Something
know.
to think on there. All right, let's do what we do every day. Let's take a trip back in time, and maybe some of this stuff you'll remember, some you won't. The first guy that I ever remember seeing this with a guitar that had thanks on the back of it. Anybody remember that? Real famous guy who came to Meridian, Mississippi, and helped start the Jimmy Rogers movement. It was.
Was it? Yeah.
On this date, Ernest Tubb was born. Walking the floor over you. Now, of course, you've heard of that, I'm sure. Susie, you have heard that song, hadn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
What about Buck Owens? Doesn't he have that too? Or somebody did. Who
I
else
feel
had
like
that?
that's right.
Didn't he have something on the back of his
Maybe.
guitar?
I know that Porter had thanks inside his jacket.
Okay. I
That
thought
maybe-
somebody else had that. I thought Buck Owens
Buck may
did, but
have.
I might be wrong. I don't know.
Well, you can ask Bill. Bill could tell you because he's a big Dwight fan, which was real. Yeah.
Yeah,
tight.
and Bill, I cut his hair yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Super nice guy, yeah. Bill Reinhardt.
Glad y'all done that. 1943, you remember this guy from Home Alone. And you can't watch this movie you can't vision anybody else playing the bad guy because
Yeah.
he done so good at it. 1943, and I can't pronounce his last name, was born on this day.
Pesci.
Yeah, see, I was going to say
Pesci.
Pesky.
Pesci. I think it's Pesci.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He makes you smile just to look at him.
Yes, he was so funny in Home Alone.
Look, if y'all want to borrow me anytime out at MCC of how to slaughter the English language, let me come on out. I'll be on loan to y'all. 1960 was a bad day in America, especially for the Coors Brewing Company. Their grandson, the heir to the company, was kidnapped, and as we look at this, it ended bad. And did not work out there. They done a manhunt, and he was not found in good shape there. We'll leave it at that. But that did happen on this date back in '60. Over in Atlanta, Travis Tritt was born on this date. Y'all remember Travis?
Yep.
1963 was when Travis came to be. Come about there fast there. I remember this song, and I think everybody's dated somebody that, maybe their parents didn't like you, and you had to stop seeing them. You remember the Oak Ridge Boys? Anybody remember them?
Yep.
old hippie boy there, Goldman there. Leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight was the number one song on this state back in 1980. That does not seem like that should be how many ever years ago that is.
I know.
Now,
are they all still living?
Yes, they all hang out together still there. Joe.
I used to, when I was little, my family listened to the Oak Ridge Boys.
Now, the little fill-in guy that filled in for William Lee Goldman there for about 2 years did die when he thought he wanted to go sing on his own and nobody was into the beard hippie look by himself, and it didn't work, like all bands. Yeah. Remember Larry Stewart, who used to be the lead singer of Restless Heart? Restless Heart was so big.
Okay.
A tender life. And he went out on his own. Guess what? His career was over. It normally happens that way. People like a group, and it just, Brooks and Dunn never made it apart. 1981, who remembers the song? Let me see here. Let me make you rock around the clock tonight. We're going to rock, rock, rock.
Oh, yeah.
1981, Bill Haley was found dead. Laying in a bed. He was dressed fully, had a heart attack in the middle of the night, and passed away. Bill Haley in the comments. That was big back in the day. Big. It was at Celebration. Somebody remind me. Kool and the Gang. What was their big song?
Celebration. Yeah, celebrate.
Yeah, I think so.
Times.
Yeah. The lead singer for them, Dennis Thomas, was born on this date. If you're big, Kool and the Gang. They had other songs, I'm sure, but that's the only one that I know of that was humongous. That any store that you go into, and probably at the end of the year, a big party for New Year's, that song is played there. And who could remember this? Still to this moment makes me scratch my head and go, did she really do that? Let's go back to 2019 when Elizabeth, what did Trump nickname her when she was trying to think that she was Indian and she wasn't? Pocahontas.
Is that what he said? Okay.
Let's go back to 2019 when Pocahontas tried to convince us that she was going to have a beer with America, and it went flop.
That is kind of lame.
That is the most awkward.
Like they're really
And her
lame.
husband walks through the kitchen. Honey, do you want a beer? You weird people. That did happen on this date. So maybe you should remember a few of these things that happened on this date and it brought back a smile to your face. I certainly hope so. That's what went on there. Let's see here. We got some folks. Have any of y'all ever been skiing?
I've been water skiing. It did not turn out
No, I'm talking
good.
about snow.
I know.
Snow.
But I was just entering. Like,
That
was my lead way into it. Yeah, I've water skied and I did not do well. So,
Susie, have you been?
I have never been skiing.
I don't know anything about it. But there's a company named Vail Resorts, and apparently they've got a bunch of these places. And for $1,000 a year, you can go and ski at any of their resorts. Well, we've had some hard times, so they knocked 20% off. And 20% off of that is not that much money, and brought the ticket price down to $819. Now people are mad at them. You don't want to know why? Let me show you the picture. Because everybody went and bought a ticket.
Yeah.
And let me see the money amount that they have garnered for the company. You want to talk about somebody taking your company that is sinking to nothing? They have sold $2.1 million worth of passes. But all the skiers are mad because it's crowded now like Wally World.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to get in? They'd be running over each other going down the hill. Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
But it was a smart business move. If your prices are a little high, make it to where people can afford to go skiing.
Right.
It's kind of like the season pass, I guess, to the water park up in Philadelphia. Knock that down a little bit. Everybody's got to come.
How would you like house all those people in a hotel? I
don't know. I've never been to one.
At one time.
I don't know if it's kind of like the water park where you drive up from the house and go home, or you stay there at the lodge. I don't know.
I would imagine.
And then my next question is, how do you stop skis? Because I did watch
you turn to the side.
National Lampoon's Vacation, where you slid down that hill and he couldn't stop that little sled.
Well, I will say that roller skating, you don't stop the same way ice skating as you do roller skating. You have the little rubber thing on the front of your skate when you're roller skating.
Right.
You don't do that with ice skating. You'll take a big old chunk out of the ice, just so you know.
I have. Oh. All right, speaking of this, and I'm sure, Susie, you remember this back in the day. This had to be big. But growing up in Scuba, Mississippi, we did not have this. So we only heard tell of it. Roller skating. Did either one of y'all go roller skating when you were young?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I roller skated. That was everybody had a birthday party in elementary school. That was your birthday party.
We went to Wilson's, which was, if I'm not mistaken, a wood floor.
Yeah, off of 8th Street.
Yeah. Yes, we went there and so many times.
We
And
went to
then-
Dixie Bowl Lanes.
Okay, well, we went to the Carousel. That was the big
And then there was a
place
yep,
to go.
yep.
Out
and
on
then-
19.
And then we went there too.
Yeah, I loved it. We would always get our parents just drop us off.
We got dropped off.
Yeah,
Yep.
drop us off, and we'd go in there and we'd skate for hours, and then stay
Is
till
it-
like they'd sometimes have a midnight skate.
And my kids
thing.
used to skate on the one on North Hills every Friday afternoon.
Do you remember, like, you'd go around the skating rink and they called it trucking, where you do your
Trucking?
Yeah, that's what they'd call it, trucking. And you'd like skate and do your foot, like that as you skated. It was really fun, though. I mean, we had the best time.
I have never tried. All right,
Memories.
and be honest with me. The first time that you put the shoes on, how bad is it to stand up on wheels?
It's not bad. I was really good at one time at roller skating, and now I might break my neck, but
Susan,
I could backwards
did you ever
skate.
fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
When you're
like-
in elementary school, you just fall all the time.
Let me ask you a
and
question.
Have much fun.
Susie, did you have the big snowball-looking things?
Oh, the
that
shoes?
that you tied on the front of your skate?
Some people did, but we rented them.
What
so.
does that do?
I can still remember the
Just for
smell of the skating rink.
Oh, yeah. It was just like for decoration.
It's
on your
fun.
skates.
Just a
I had
fun
my own
look.
case with my white.
Oh,
skates.
you were serious.
Oh, I was a serious now. Like
You
it was-
skated backwards. I could
meant
skate
some
backwards. That's about
business.
all I could do.
I did. I'd skate backwards.
What was that? And I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong here. Did the Bay City Rollers have some song that dealt talking about skating? Saturday Night, SATUR. Wasn't that big at the skating rinks? Didn't they play that a lot? You remember the song SATUR where they spell Saturday in the song?
Maybe so. I don't
Merle
know.
Haggard never done this. So I'm just going out on a limb here.
Okay. I'm sure they probably did. I
Do you
don't
know
know
the
that
song?
that was one of the ones that we skated to, but like cool in the game, like
Oh, it's just all the popular music of the time.
yeah.
They would play it, and you would just skate around and find your friends. And
And then they had the concession stand.
Yep.
You could skate in there and eat, and then go on back out there and
All
skate.
right, let me admit this. Here's something else that I have never done, and I ought to be ashamed. I am having a birthday before long, and so I'm into my early 50s here. I have never in my life been bowling, ever.
Oh, my
I have
gosh.
never touched a bowling ball in my life.
well, you need to go.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
I love to bowl too.
I watched them on Laverne and Shirley do it one time.
I have to get the very lightweight ball. Though.
I do, too.
I can't have the real heavy ones.
Well, they make
but I
different
can
balls?
bowl a strike a lot of times. I mean, I'm pretty good at that. I'm
It
not
is a
trying to brag.
really
I
fun. It's a
am not, but
fun night out.
it
You
is
should take your
fun.
family. It's
It
really
is.
fun.
It is fun, and I was
Yeah.
going to take my son bowling not long ago to the new
To the new place, it's really nice.
Yes, and we were going to go during the day, but they're not open during the day. Like they were closed at that moment. So
We'll have to do this one time. Bay City Rollers. Somebody put it up there. John. See, somebody remembers a little bit. Funky
I
Town
remember
was
the
a
Bay
favorite.
City Rollers.
Oh yeah, take you to Funky Town.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
yeah,
Oh, they still do the homeschool skating. That's what we used to do, the Friday homeschool skating.
Well, I'm learning a little bit more and more every day here.
It
You
is
need to go
fun,
bowling.
though.
You need to go bowling for your birthday.
yeah, you do. Yeah.
Let's turn to talk about our friend over at Snowden and Company. That's what they do, and they do this quite well. So many people choose them. If you're thinking, I need a home, talk to my friend Amanda. She's got so many agents that are good at what they do. Look at this. This is two people here that sold their home, Lamar and Diane. They chose them. Then here's some more people that have, chosen them to buy from them. Rachel and Alan busted on up in there and said, I need a house. They took them out and showed them. They'll do this for you. And if you're selling, they're going to go through all what it takes here. Here's some of their top sellers there and go through their critiques of what you need to do to your home, what's going to make it appealing to somebody, what's your number one thing here. And then if you're looking, they'll write all this down and call you as soon as that house comes up and say, you better make a move because somebody else is going to want it. Well,
Right.
that's what they do, is finding your dream home, whether you're selling or buying, whatever the case is. Here's a beautiful home that's up for sale. That's it. Yeah. Beautiful right there. And of course, this is just color coordinated. I couldn't have picked it any better. A big home, maybe you got a bunch of young'uns or maybe a mother-in-law that won't leave. Right there, you can put her upstairs and never see her again.
Looks like you could put about 3 families in
You
there.
could.
Like, yeah.
It's big. It's gorgeous. Even comes with, look at there, a playground in the background. See, not everybody noticed that. Check it out. Double wides if you need that. 2, 3, 4 bedroom. They'll find that perfect home for you. They've got a lot of them to choose from. You can go online at snowdenrealestate.com. See it, 453-3937 is the number there. Open Monday through Friday. They'll be there this afternoon until 5. Closed on Saturday by appointment only, not opening on Sunday. See them. Snowden and Company, these are the folks that you'll go to learn and know. Well, see them all. They'll help you when it comes to purchasing a home.
I was heading over to Meridian and I was involved in a serious accident.
I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And again, our special guest with us this morning is Susie Johnson. Susie Johnson from MCC, who has a great guy. Did you want to say something a minute ago? Or yay or nay?
I was just going to tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. But a lot of people always ask me about my kids, and
they won't leave home either.
Well, they leave home too much. But Benjamin, they were here last time I came on. They came and did the country music writing and all. But Benjamin, since then, was nominated for a Grammy.
Wow.
So that's pretty exciting.
That is exciting. What an honor.
Now, what's the Grammy for? What is it?
And the Grammy is for a pop song. It's Weezer. It's a Weezer song called All My Favorite Things.
But he's nominated for a Grammy?
Yes, and songwriting.
Heavens.
And he is most excited because he's in the same category with Paul McCartney. So anyway.
Will you send us some information so we can share that? Because that from Meridian, Mississippi, that is some kind of big deal.
Yeah, that's
it's
a great
huge.
honor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he sent me a text this morning at 2 a.m. He's in L.A. right now, and he has finally met his idol. I don't know if you know who Max Martin is.
No, I don't.
But he's a super producer.
Right.
So anyway, he is now happy. And he got to go to the game last night. I think he was at the Lakers
I'm going to tell you, I'm proud for you from sitting here. That has to be an awesome feeling to know that your child has been nominated for a Grammy.
And for those of you who know Benjamin, he called me and he goes, "Hey, guess what? I just got a phone call." And I'm nominated for a Grammy, and I didn't see that coming. Yeah. So anyway, he didn't see it coming, but he's excited.
That is now. When will the winners be announced?
They put the and his wife had already gotten her beautiful red dress, but they delayed the award ceremony till April now, and it's going to be in Las Vegas now instead of.
Okay, well, we're all over. And seriously, I want you to send me a picture the information so we can post this, because it's an honor for somebody.
It's a pretty big deal. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Just to be, nominated, he's very excited and honored.
We might see him up in the Max.
You never know. Hey, Jessica Davis says they used to skate to Rockin' Robin. Y'all remember that song?
Oh, yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, look at there. Let's see here.
And Locomotion.
Yes. I want you to remind us now what you've got coming up this weekend. We know Super Bowl is coming, but you've got a real great guy coming to MCC this weekend.
We did, on Sunday afternoon.
All right, it's going to be at 2 o'clock.
Early.
And
way before the Super Bowl.
There it is. And he's going to talk about his books.
Yes, he'll talk about growing up in Mississippi and a little bit of a wit there, and his books and writing and all kinds of things. He's one of those people who can talk about anything.
Now, will he have some of his books there?
We will have books there. We've already purchased the books, and we'll have them there for autographs.
Okay.
You can purchase the book. And
that'd be a great little Valentine edition, too.
Yeah.
If you have
in fact,
that loves to
I meant to tell you this. My assistant, Jan Freeman, came on after I'd already put him on the roster, and she saw the books and she said, "Oh, somebody gave my husband this book for Christmas, and he has been laughing out loud the whole holiday." So there we go.
Yeah.
Unsolicited.
I was sitting over here smirking to myself as y'all were finishing that thought there. I was going to show a picture, and then I realized I can't show a picture. Have you ever met somebody who thinks they're more than they really are? We've got a former Playboy model. She's 27 years old. She says she's just too pretty for men to ask her out. She's so pretty that she's auctioned off her date, and the bid is at $60,000 to go out with her.
It's going to be a surprise to
him? It's on that OnlyFans site.
Oh.
And as we all know, that's a little sketchy. And I was going to show a picture of her, but she didn't have enough clothes on for me to show a picture of her. $60,000 for a date with somebody.
That's kind of a... sounds like something else.
If I was a guy, I would know of a lot more things like I could buy or whatever, or either, that's just crazy.
What would Charlie Sheen do is what I'm thinking. Charlie Sheen. But that shocks me that somebody would even have the audacity to say that they're just too pretty for anybody to ask them out. Anyway, well, that's a small thing. We want to say thank you to Susie for coming in this morning.
Anyway, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That is kind of like us. When you charge
kind of thinly veiled prostitution.
That does usually merit
Eddie just
that
called
word.
it what
Yeah.
it was.
It is exactly what it is.
Again,
Yeah.
thank everyone for dropping by. We do appreciate you. We're going to come back in tomorrow morning, once again, beginning at 8 a.m. Be here with us, and we'll be here throughout the day to let you know what happens.
Yes.
Thanks a bunch. See you soon. Thanks, Susie.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by